Wow, I really feel that magic is in the air. Woo!
Yeah.
As we are spreading our wings and waiting for a few more fellow journeyers to join our flight, I've got Bernie here, and we are both on time of deep introspection and deep reflection, and it's so nice to come together with you, soul sister. And from your home and my home and the home of Rythmia that has brought us together, I welcome you. Aho!
Aho.
Okay, so I'm just gonna lower this music. Wonderful. Well, I've got some sage burning here in the background. Always, as we enter into this beautiful sacred container, I'm offering a prayer of any energies that don't serve us. May we be able to clear them. So much is happening in the world, so much. And we get to come together each and every Friday to share each and everyone's heart and story. And so today I've got again Miss Bernie.
Hi.
So we are colleagues at Rythmia. And again, we are not at Rythmia. We're both each in our own temples. And I love seeing the word grateful in the background. Grateful. I am here to be sitting with you, Bernie. And wow, your story before you became faculty of Rythmia, your story just is such a blessing. And so for you to share your story here today is even more, just makes me fly. So how did you hear about Rythmia?
Great question. Well, at the time, I was home on medical leave from my job, a corporate job. I was in the auto business for almost 20 years as a finance director, finance manager, and I had an eye condition caused by stress. So I was home, and I was used to just work so much that I didn't know how to be home settled. I just felt I didn't know what to do with myself. And that's when things started to rise up on the surface in regards to like family trauma, relationship, troubles. And at the time I wasn't speaking to my mother. It had been a year. So I started like digging deep, and I just felt like God was like, okay, are you ready to deal with this? Or are you going to keep shoving it under the carpet? And I remember I went to see a Christian therapist twice to try to get to the root of it. But talk therapy wasn't working for me because I couldn't remember any of my childhood memories really to get further down to the core of whatever it was that triggered us, or me anyway. And so I came across a documentary, Psyched Out, and I saw Jerry, and he told his story, and I couldn't believe it. And I just thought, wow, if that happened for him, maybe it'll happen for me. And after that documentary, I probably watched like 50 others, and I started following Rythmia and watched like 100 testimonials from past guests sharing their story. And to be honest, I couldn't get to Rythmia fast enough. I ended up booking my trip a couple weeks later, and I was at Rythmia a month later, actually 3 weeks later after I discovered, Jerry's story. And that was the week that completely changed my entire life, my entire being, it just brought me back and realigned me with my truth, my divinity, my feminine energy, which I didn't know I had. I was all up in my wounded masculine energy my whole life. And it was a week of just continuous miracle after miracle after miracle, because the things that were happening at Rythmia, I can never do. Out of all the years I had gone to church, and church served me in so many ways, my faith, my relationship with God, um, my fellow brothers and sisters, it served me up to a certain point, and there was a time where I did a corporate fast with my church back in January 2017. And for me, that was the first time that I felt God's spirit with mine, because it was the one thing that I changed drastically in my life was doing this fast dieta. Um, and and I didn't know it was a Daniel fast, and I had never done anything like that before. And that was the one time where I knew I wanted more out of my relationship with God, because what I was doing was only taking me so far. So personally, I feel that the medicine crossed my path to take me to a whole other universe that I didn't even know existed, with all these guides and angels and ancestors and just my divine team from above that I never recognized before. So that's where the game changed for me, is knowing that I don't need to go outside of anywhere to look for a relationship with God or being fed. Now I can do it from my bed. Yeah, I can do it from my shower. I can do it I do self ceremonies every day. And the inner work that I do, it just helps bring awareness to who I am today. And it fills me with knowledge of what I went through in the past, so that I can recognize red flags and not use them as a challenge, but use them as what they're meant for, which is step back, observe, and make a conscious decision whether you want to continue or step away. So yeah, it's been powerful.
Okay, so Magic in the Air, you did this week long at Rhythmia. It connected you back to source, to God, to spirit. And the next thing you know, you are working at Rhythmia. So how did that happen?
Yeah, so when I left Rhythmia, um, you know, spirituality like came crashing over me. Like the classes at Rhythmia that we do throughout the week taught me about energy, the universe, and just this whole other language. And I remember coming home and I'm like, oh, following Rhythmia, following all the teachers, following everyone, because it was my school now, and I just continued to learn. I started watching consciousness television and all the shows, all the movies, started following all the doctors. And that was the work that I was doing within myself. Now, like, church was for me now agape, following Michael uh,
Beckwith.
Beckwith. And so, and Susie Lula and Kim Stanwood, just it started speaking to my soul. So, along with that, my community started to grow, because this was all new to me. This was not my path at all. So, I became like in a hermit mode. I'm like, who do I follow? So, I started following Rhythmia and everyone, and my community started to grow. And 19 months later, I'm a sharer by heart, and I love to share what works for me. I just want to share it with everyone else. Like, I found the secret. So Jerry, I remember when I first went to Rhythmia, and it was during lunch, I think the next first day on Monday, and I'm like, hi, I want to introduce myself. My name is Bernie, and I'm here because of you. And ever since then, we just became friends, and he started watching me on social media, and he saw my transformation from the time he met me. And as I started to share on social media, just everything that I'm doing and how life is working for me now, and he just saw that transformation. And when I went to Costa Rica for vacation on Thanksgiving, and he saw that I was there. He's like, "We need to talk." And at the time, I was in such a place where I was doing so much inner work, and I was manifesting, like, okay, I know I need to go back to work because COVID had already hit. February 2020 is when I was ready to go back to work, but then COVID hit. So I got more time to spend at home. So I'm like, September-ish, I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to go back to work, but I don't want to go back into the car business. It's, I don't want to go into a toxic environment. I want to go into the holistic realm, the healing realm, but I don't have any experience. Like, how is this going to work? And I just kept doing courses and I said, universe, God, I don't care how, just bring it to me. And so 2-3 months later, Thanksgiving time, I go to Costa Rica. Jerry reaches out to me and says, you need to come work here. And I'm like, well, I don't know how that's going to happen. He's like, well, let me see if I can find something for you. And he got someone in touch with me who was wanting every other month off. And so we got together, we talked, and I said, you know what, I want to try it. Let's go for it. And I just made arrangements to do it, to see if this would be for me. And I mean, how can it not? The minute I got there, it lights up my soul. Like, I am myself to the most inner core that I have. And I just exude this beingness that I can't do from where I live. It's just, you're in this rythmia bubble, and you get to connect with like-minded people who are there to do the work that I did 2 years ago. So it comes out, it's so effortlessly to connect with people like that who want what you wanted, who want what you're doing, who want to get where you're at and continue and just connect and grow and evolve. So, I mean, it's been the biggest blessing in my life. I am a true walking miracle, because if you knew who I was before and see the transformation, not only in myself, but my work life and what I've manifested in my life, it's just unbelievable. Sometimes I can't even believe that I'm on this ride, but it's people and my sisters like you and my support system and my community that remind me every day that when you work for it, and it's not external work, it's internal work. When you do the work within yourself, you start vibrating at whatever's meant for you. You attract the frequency, you start attracting what is meant for you, and vice versa. So that's where I'm at right now.
Well, I'm reminded by your dedication to coming to ceremony once a week. And there was one ceremony that I was assisting that you were quite close to me. It was on kind of the left-hand side of the maloca and very close to the couch. And I felt the energy of your commitment to working, working. And even when it felt like the energies got really, really chaotic, you just held ground, and you were like this warrior of light, as we call it, just, navigating and working it. And I don't even know if I ever acknowledged that fully. And I just want to acknowledge that now, because what you said is so true, is that the medicine will take us there to do the work, and then we have to do it. And not only on the cosmic dance floor, also off the cosmic dance floor. And so the work that you're doing now is just part of what you did in ceremony, in the physical plane. And so that dance is just so enriching and so transforming. And I really, sister, I salute you for all that you are doing in the world.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. And as far as the work ceremonies go, for me, every time it's hard work, but I always come out a different, better version than the person that went into ceremony. I come out better. Whatever, was consuming my mind or I was struggling with, gone. And it's just, and that's what the healing work that we do on ourselves. If we want it, we can receive it. But are you willing to step in courage and bravery and in the knowingness that we are our own self-healers? We can heal ourselves. And when you know that you can self-heal, you just go there for guidance, support, and assistance, and you're there. And you said, I can see how strongly you're held by your divine team from above and below, and it's people like you that can give me those words of encouragement and truths, and confirmation that we need to keep going, because this work never ends.
No,
it never ends.
It's what you said before. We have to keep on showing up for it.
Yes.
And doing it. Because once we've learned one lesson, then the next one comes.
Yeah.
And when we create that sacred container, then we can really receive the guidance from our own inner, compass.
Right.
Yeah. Super powerful. Super potent. So the work that you do at Rythmia too, it really involves encouraging and inspiring people to continuously recommit to the journey that they're on.
Yeah.
And so I know that there are people that are watching right now that know very much about Rythmia, and I know that there's brand new faces here. And so as you work as, integration specialist and all that wonderful stuff. So as we begin to bring our session and journey and share to a closing, would you like to invite people even more to explore Rythmia?
Yes, absolutely. So for me, it was all new to me. So we do, I talk about our aftercare program, which I did as a guest, because again, it was all new to me. It was the first time I learned how to breathe correctly. So, our aftercare program includes breath work, yoga, guided meditation, food and nutrition, all the classes and courses, for The Answer Is You. So it's tied into Agape with Michael Beckwith. And they also have the music. So all the music, when I left there, I stopped listening to radio. All I listen to is medicine music. So that my whole lifestyle changed. So for me, I get to speak from experience because I live it, and so we offer that to our guests. We also offer coming back to Rythmia, rebooking your trip, and for me, the fact that I get to work there is like a dream come true. But I feel that it's important that people go at least once a year to do this kind of work, to commit to themselves and their growth, personal development and healing. So rebooking your trip, we have special guests, different weeks. So definitely reach out to an agent if there's a special guest that speaks to you. And then breath work, I help facilitate in breath work. And that alone, healing with your breath, I mean, the power in that room where you see people just, breakthrough after breakthrough. I cry sometimes because it's so beautiful for people to connect with themselves when all they've done is run away from themselves. So it's beautiful to hold space. And yeah, if you're interested in any of that, definitely reach out to us and we can point you in the right direction.
Yay! Wonderful. Well, I know that even though physically we're not at Rythmia, we are at Rythmia in
Yes,
spirit. And
always.
we're so connected to the tribe. And so I just want to give a big shout out to all of our Rythmia brothers and sisters who are working this week and just in this time that you and I are off from Rythmia, I know that too we're learning so much about that inner compass and how to navigate everything because we're doing the work.
Right.
We're doing the work always, always. So on that
Mhm.
note, magic is in the air, everybody. And we wish you that this weekend and what you received from Bernie today will inspire you to go deep because magic is in the air. So thank you for tuning in. Bernie, thank you for joining. I
Thank
love you,
you.
sister.
I love
And
you.
we'll see you guys all next week on Friday. Mwah.